we're gonna go down to the foam lab. That's where we do all our fabrications for most of the equipment for our seismic lab, for our communications network. We're also gonna check out the vault where we keep all our seismometers, and then I'm gonna show you the loading dock and hopefully show you some of our cool side-by-side and some of the cool tours we get to play with. So this is our field staging area. This is where all of our field technicians keep their climbing gear, and then a lot of our tools that we need to go out in the field and build all the different communication sites. So we've got all of our power tools on the shelves over here. You know, this is kind of our staging area for when we go out in the field here. So we're down here in the basement of LMR. This is where we have our what we call the foam lab. This is where a really famous seismologist, Jim Broom, figured out a lot of physics about earthquakes using foam rubber block models. But now we've taken it over as our primary space where we do all the equipment fabrication. So here's some batteries that power our sites when there's, at nighttime or when there's no solar coming in. This is a solar panel frame that we're manufacturing. So you mount solar panels on the top here, then put a giant battery box, which I'll show you in a second, that would sit right here. And that's basically all the electronics and the solar power that you would need to power one of our communication sites. So here is an example of a huge parabolic antenna that we have. So this would mount on top of a tower on the top of a mountain. And this would be used to send the microwave signal across potentially up to 150 miles through the air. And that's how we create our network topology so that we can transfer data around the state. So this is what we call a seismic kit that we've designed at the lab. It's actually kind of cool because these 3 boxes are showing different stages of the development. So we get the box essentially raw, like this from the factory. And then we attach this metal backplate on it with this metal DIN rail, and then we can start clipping different electronic components to it. So this thing that kind of looks like a light bulb is what's called a lightning protection unit. So this will protect the device if it gets a direct lightning strike. And if you come over here, you'll see what the whole system looks like it's built. You've got different fuses and circuit breakers, a solar charge controller. We have a power supply that provides clean power to power radios and routers and electronics and data loggers. And this is a self-contained unit that can just be thrown on the back of a truck and put out in the field. All right, so now we'll check out the vault. This is where we keep all our seismometers and test our seismic equipment before it goes out in the field. So this room's pretty cool because this concrete slab right here is actually affixed to the ground, which enables us to have a solid surface where we can test out seismic instruments that are very sensitive to any type of movement. So basically on this rack back here are seismic data loggers. And what these are responsible for are taking the analog signal that comes off a seismometer like this right here, which is typically an electrical current. And then it turns that into something that a computer can handle. So it turns it into an internet packet that then gets sent out over our network. And so that's kind of completes the loop on what we're seeing in the foam lab. Okay, so the last thing I'll show you is the data center, which is where it's kind of the heart of the network, and that's where all of the data comes back to UNR. I also don't know if you want a video of that, but those are our antennas up there. So this is kind of the brains of the operation here. So this is all the networking equipment that connects our entire network throughout the state. And then these are a lot of servers that are actually used to process the data and collect the data from out in the field. So this is really the heart of the entire operation in this room right now. We have a live view of all the data that's coming into our network right now. And it looks like there's not actually any earthquakes that have happened in the last 20 minutes or so. There's a lot of little earthquakes, but nothing big and significant. Our lab builds the electronics equipment, designs the power systems, drives out in the field and installs all this equipment. We maintain the network. So everything done for our fire camera monitoring and our earthquake monitoring is all done by employees of UNR that work at the Nevada Seismology Lab.